show is a part of the Quite the Thing Media Podcast Network.
Hi, everybody. This is Kim.
This is Cal.
You're listening to Shiny Things. I'm sure you already knew that, but here to tell you that and remind you.
we try to remind you every week, but then again, there's also, new people that are listening, so we gotta, introduce ourselves.
What's new, Kelly?
Nothing. So remember that story I shared last week about the boat that they found with 20 dead people on it?
I do. I was wondering what was going on with that.
There's still no update. June 28th was the last time anybody did anything about it. I'm like, we're in the middle of July. How did these, 20 bodies just...
So they bring it up to you and then they don't say another word.
I know. It's like, come on, man. I know you love when I do that.
Come on, man.
But I found another interesting story, and this one I think is going to have more traction. So they found 2 bodies in the former Versace mansion. And so Versace was killed outside of this place exactly 24 years ago on July 15th, 1997. So in the hotel, because it's a hotel now, they found 2 dead dudes in a room. Well, the housekeeper found 2 dead dudes.
It's always the housekeeper that has to clean up the mess.
I feel so bad. How dramatic is that? You go in and you're just like ready to do your job, and then you're like, oh, there's 2 gay dudes, or dead dudes, not gay dudes.
I'm out. I couldn't do that, Kelly.
No.
It's a lot to ask of somebody that isn't making that much money.
No, I feel bad. And then they probably make her clean up. Well, actually, so there's probably... Well, they said they're doing the investigation into the deaths. Because it didn't say, causes of death or, suspected homicide or anything like that.
Did they release names?
No. So I pulled this morning at 8:07.
Oh, okay.
So I'm hoping by next week we'll have some kind of update. Even tomorrow, man. I mean, this is a big, fancy place.
Yeah.
They're paying big buco bucks. The mansion sold in 2000, and then in Versace bought the place, and it was $33 million.
Wow. That's a lot of money.
But it's got a south wing, it's got a pool and a garden. But now it was put on the market again in 2012. But apparently now it is the Villa Casa Casonria. I probably said that wrong. Hotel.
It's a hotel?
It is. This place is ginormous.
Wow.
But yeah, so it's kind of weird that 24 years later you find 2 dead people.
Yeah, and it was 2 people together?
So it says 2 men were found dead inside a hotel room at the former Gianni Versace mansion in Miami Beach.
Okay, well, maybe next week.
Yeah, I'm hoping there'll be more info.
Hopefully, not like the ship that was found with the 20 dead people.
Such a tease.
Yeah.
I know, I shouldn't, but I want to know what happened to those people. How did 20 people just die on a boat and then they don't suspect foul play?
And they don't ever do a follow-up on it. That's what gets me.
Right. It's like, well, was it a Jonestown situation? Did they all, was there something, did they all get listeria? Were they just dehydrated? The list of shit goes on.
I find it hard to believe that 20 people would die at the same time from dehydration.
But that's my point. I'm like, bullshit, there's no foul play. You don't just, come up on a boat and there's 20 dead people on it.
If anybody's just tuning in now, they're going to think we're nuts.
I know, but...
Laughing about 20 dead people. I'm not laughing at the 20 dead people.
I'm laughing because they don't... It's like, come on, just follow up. Do your job.
Listen, we're crazy. I mean, we have a very sick sense of humor.
I know. Today I'll probably do a lot of nervous laughing.
I know you said that this show was going to be a little weird.
This one is weird. So I kind of prefaced it last time by saying we were going to do the story of Kendall Francois. also known as the Poughkeepsie Killer.
Oh.
So that's not far from our homes. I know that Frank worked on this case. I know a couple of other troopers personally that had, some kind of dealings with this because it was such a huge case.
And now, wasn't this a request from one of our listeners?
It was from Alyssa. So she's our first ever in-person fan we've met. And she recognized me. It was funny because we were sitting out and we were eating Chinese food. We're having some wine and we're just sitting there. And she kept looking at me. And she goes, "Your voice sounds so familiar." And I was like, "Oh, really?" She's like, "Yeah, but I can't place it." And I was like, "I have a podcast." And she's like, "Really?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she's like, "What is it?" And I was like, "Shiny Things." And she goes, "Oh my God, you did the Salisbury Manor." And she listened to it because she wanted to buy a house around there. So I was so excited. Remember, I FaceTimed you that night.
Yes, I thought she was so cool. I'm thinking, my God, I feel like a celebrity.
I know, right? So we got to get her a koozie now that we've got them in stock.
Yes, we can do that, Kelly.
We can do that. We're going to get some ball caps here soon. I'm excited.
Yeah, and we're going to put it up on the website. So if anybody wants to buy any merch.
Yeah, let us know, or if you have ideas for merch, t-shirts. I still think that we should be making a t-shirt of the Baby Me Would Be Pissed Off Too.
I love that. We'll definitely have to give that some thought.
They're like, "I loved that line." I was like, I don't even remember saying it, but okay.
I remember it. I just don't remember what episode.
I don't remember. We'll have to go back and listen. It's good to remind ourselves where we came from.
Oh, very true.
Now that we have like real microphones and know
real fans,
what we're doing.
Real people that actually listen.
I know, and then for them to like, I've had like 4 people tell me like, "Baby Me would be pissed off too." I'm like, "Oh, you were listening." Oh, I did warn my family. So we had a big 60th birthday party for my Uncle Rich. And my cousin Chris was like, "That's so cool that you have a podcast." He's like, "And I tell people I know someone that has a podcast." And I was like, "Well, I hope you're listening because I talk about all you guys." And I was like, "And the way I know you're not listening is because you don't bring up what I talk about." And he goes, "Oh, like what?" And I was like, "I brought up Matt's shoe size." And he goes, "Oh, he hates talking about his shoe size." I was like, "Yep, but he didn't listen because I haven't heard about it."
That's how you can quiz your family.
Yeah, so that's why I told them. I was like, "Look, I talk about y'all all the time, but, if you're not going to listen, you're not going to find out."
And the big thing, Kelly, is that now we're on iHeartRadio.
I can't believe that.
I know, that was really exciting.
That's like being on Apple. You know what I mean? That's cool. And we had a little glitch, so we do apologize for that because we couldn't play our own show. It was really frustrating, and there was a really heated night that I was like talking to 3 or 4 different people who deal with RSS feeds and all this other nonsense. So now we're back up and running. And, and it within a couple of hours, our downloads just went up. So it made our hearts soar. So thank you guys for sticking with us. Even though it's been a pain in the ass with technology and stuff. But we're getting there.
We are getting there, and it's fun getting there.
It is. So, well, I'll stop talking. I'm sure people are tired of listening to us banter. No, I don't get tired of it. So our buddy here, Kendall Francois, I'm just going to give you a little background, and then we're going to get into his really fucked up story. It's not so much his story is kind of like any other serial killer, but it's kind of like the crime scene was weird. But anywho, so he was born on July 26th, and in my paper here it says 21, and that's not true. So I don't have exact year of birth. But he was a big kid, and his classmates teased him for being so big. I mean, he was 6'4" and 250 pounds.
How old was he?
Well, he graduated in 1989, so he is, yeah. So that would have been about 18. He was 6'4".
I was picturing somebody in grade school. Okay.
In kindergarten, he was 6'4". No.
That makes a lot more sense. Okay.
Yeah, because technically, according to my notes here, his birthday hasn't even come yet. So.
Okay.
But so he must have been this size pretty early on because he played football and he wrestled at Arlington High School right here in Poughkeepsie. And then he graduated in 1989 and joined the Army. He was stationed at Fort Sill in Oklahoma before he was transferred to Honolulu. How awesome would that be to be transferred to Honolulu? I don't care if I'm having to do boot camp. I'm still in Hawaii.
Oh, I know. That would be wonderful.
See, I would have joined the Army if I knew I didn't.
I would love to have done that. I just don't like people telling me what to do.
Oh, no, you would not be good with a drill sergeant yelling in your face. I would, but I'd be that asshole that would have, like, super bulk arms because I would laugh and they'd make me do 20. That'd be me. So I'd be super fit. So would you, because you'd have to keep doing push-ups.
Yes, I don't like to be told what to do.
But so I found an interesting little tidbit that I only found it in one source. But fun fact, there was a serial killer at large strangling women in Hawaii while he happened to be down there.
Interesting, Kelly.
So the case was never solved, but I don't know. Could it be a coinky-dink? I personally feel that he was probably getting his feet wet.
I'm concerned why he would move from Hawaii to Poughkeepsie.
Well, let's get to that.
Okay.
So he was discharged from the Army in 1994, and he had to move back home with his family, which consisted of his sister, his mother, and his father. So they all had a home at, let me get the exact, Fulton Street in Poughkeepsie, which is, well, now it's well-known, 99 Fulton. So his whole family lived there. His mom worked as a psychiatric nurse. He worked as a custodian at Arlington High until 96, and then he was promoted to detention/hall monitor in the middle school.
Hall monitor?
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I only laughed because Lauren was hall monitor when she was in third grade.
I know, but she's such a narc.
Yeah, she is. God bless her little narc heart.
I know, I bet she was really good at it.
Yeah, she probably was.
I've been like, yeah, just go, man. It's okay. Hey, we all have to poop. Go. Sometimes you just need to get away from Mrs. So-and-so. Just go to the bathroom.
I remember, Kelly, when I was a little kid, I used to love going down to the nurse to get an ice pack.
Oh, as loves the nurse's bathroom, so.
Oh.
Yeah, so, I mean, we all
small victories.
It is. So, so he's got a mom who's a psychiatric nurse. He thinks she would have been able to, like, pick up on some stuff, but some of the kids and the faculty had nicknamed him Stinky because he was pretty smelly, and I guess he had like an unkempt appearance at times. So maybe that's what made him a good detention monitor. They're like, oh God, I have to walk past him. I don't know. But this would come back to haunt him when the sex workers commented on this while he was out patrolling the streets. So there wasn't much about his childhood other than that he got made fun of. So this is what we do know about his killing spree. We know that he started in October of 96. His first victim was Wendy Myers. She was 30 years old. She was working in the corner of Jewett Ave and Main Street on October 24th when Francois pulled up in his 1984 red Subaru. Now that makes the panties drop.